I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it turnpike miles. Yeah, it's Bugle signing on, John to the Hancock, and I'm always key, I'm ready to unlock. I be doing big things.
Welcome back, everyone, to the newest edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy Janlutis, and guys, we've been promoting this video the last few weeks. It's one that I'm very excited to bring to you. A great friend of mine is here with us, but more than that, heck, more than a friend, he is now the 2023 NPC Cutler Classic overall champion. Guys, I give you Stephan Cawley. Steve, you haven't been on here since, honestly, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I went back, it's almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
On purpose, because I think I told you this when I called you the other day. I didn't want to be on the show again until I won something big. I didn't, so I put it off.
And so that's kind of like, honestly, we'll dive right into it. I'm so happy you won this thing because this has been your goal since you were a little kid.
Yeah.
But more so, you went dark the last year where it's like, I'm off social media, I'm going to win this thing, I'm honing in. I love that. So for you not to be on here, it fell right into the plan. Yeah,
it was kind of on purpose to do that and not. I posted one video, maybe like 16 weeks out of what I looked like. And I was about 279, maybe 275, I forget. But the big thing was I got a new job with not the best hours. Had a baby. Which is huge. Couple big things.
Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to baby Stephen, love you, bud. And, you know, went through a lot of personal kind of things in my life, issues that came from that as well. And then, you know, I was working with a great coach. And then just wanted to switch coaches to get someone that was closer to home that I could work out with, train with, pose with. Jose Raymond, shout out.
He's a big name.
You know, I looked up to him very early in life. I was probably, you know, a young teenager buying the magazines. If it was him or Jay Cutler on it, I'd read everything that they wrote or said. And, so it was very surreal to have him as my coach. But
your focus increased exponentially. And that's why I start off with you, quote unquote, as I say, going dark from social media and everything, because as much as there's personal situations going on, as much as new jobs, life throws things at you. But you kept your focus for this going so hard.
I feel like with so much going on in my personal life and with work, I had my head down, was just like, you know, wake up, do all your meals, do your cardio, go to work, you know, take care of your son, your fiance, your family, go to the gym. The gym became my escape. The gym became like when I was a kid. You know, everything else is kind of like tedious or monotonous, or maybe is stressful. But the gym became my escape again. And it was, for me, the more I have going on in my personal life, it's like the easier bodybuilding is. It makes me more focused when I get there. And
that's the coolest thing. You say bodybuilding, it's essentially become the easiest thing for you. I've seen you pursue this from, honestly, when we roomed together in college. And like, you wouldn't call yourself a bodybuilder at that time, but you were light years above me and the guys.
Well, a couple of things. You know, I've been lifting since I was like 15. What I used to do, and the high school football coaches would get mad, is like, they had the numbers on the wall that you had to hit to really be like good. And so I kind of go in, it was like, you know, 405 squat. I forget what the deadlift and bench were. I know the deadlift, I think the deadlift was like 305, 315. I hit those numbers and it was like, okay, I'll see you guys, you know, during like football season. I didn't want to be there during the summer. But I started lifting probably seriously senior year of high school. I wanted to get, like I've talked about this story before, I wanted to get better at track and field. My football team was kind of in shambles. The head coaches left. Some of my friends weren't playing. So I was like, I'm just going to focus on track. I only got letters for track too. So I wanted to pursue it. I threw like 40 feet in shot put junior, 100 and, I don't know, 17 feet in discus. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting letters for this. Let's focus on it. I put about 10 feet on my shot. Went up about 25 pounds. All my lifts went up. I would say since I was 18, I took this very seriously.
For sure. Right? And then, honestly, from the beginning of the story, it's like you started reading the bodybuilding magazines from day one. So that's always been in the back of your mind. That's why I think it's so cool to have you on now after you accomplish this, because to anyone listening right now, you have that pursuit from when you're a kid. But you never gave up on it.
No, I think I was always told I didn't have the build for it, or I remember one guy was like, you know, I could see you being a strong man or something like that. I think, you know, there was track and field came along. We did in college. I'm sorry, we did really well.
Yep.
But like I had to throw some arms or some bodybuilding training in there.
Shout out to Coach Sam.
I couldn't stand that. I'll be the first to say that winning this show, the overall, is prestigious. It means the world to me.
Yeah.
You know, other competitors, I know people might even watch this. They've gotten their pro card. I haven't gotten my pro card yet.
Yep.
That's obviously the biggest goal for me.
Yeah.
And then after that will be to compete as a pro and do well.
Yep.
This right now, if I never did anything above this in my life, I'd be very proud of myself.
Love it.
Because there are very many moments, which I'm sure everyone on their journey, I want you to know for me, you're going to have those moments where it's self-doubt. You know, will I ever do this? Will I ever achieve this? Am I strong enough to get there? Am I genetically gifted enough to get there? Even for that one, I'd say outwork your genetics. You know, there's so many moments of doubt along the way. I never truly was ever going to give up. I think I've taken like a day off in like 10 years. But it's more of questioning if I'm doing the right thing and if I'm getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And this prep, the whole prep, I was like, I'm on the right track and this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And having a great coach complimented that as well.
Let me ask you on that, because that's something, following you for so long, I'm in the gym all the time. I talk to people in the gym all the time. You mentioned, am I doing the right thing? Am I getting the result I'm looking for? And so on and so forth. In bodybuilding, can you dive into the idea of, say there's a fitness person watching right now, listening right now, a personal trainer, whoever it is, and they're pursuing a show, or they're pursuing their best body.
Of course.
I think a lot of us have that self-doubt that you mentioned creep in, that self-judgment creep in, because we kill it in the workout, we eat what we need to eat, we see the result in the mirror for a day, and then the doubt creeps in. Well, it's not there again. And then, so for you to pursue this, you only took one day off, as you said, in years, you know? It's obviously, joking about it, but like, your consistency has been there. What has allowed you to continue the pursuits, overpower that doubt in bodybuilding, where it's like you're looking at your physique in the mirror? Well, self-judgment's the toughest thing in the world nowadays.
Well, I'll say a couple things on that. First of all, I'm stubborn as hell. That's number one.
Yeah.
Everyone I meet is really nice to me, compliments me in a certain way, and I have no ego here. I actually absolutely love lifting and bodybuilding. Yeah. That makes chasing this dream easier. I'm going to do it regardless of the goals and dreams I have.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to get up and do it every day.
Yeah.
Also, the eating, to me, I eat the same 5 meals, you know, for last off season. I actually wrote my own diet and then had my coach tweak it.
Yeah.
24/7, and absolutely love it. Look forward to every meal.
Yeah.
How can you look forward to the same food every day? I just do.
Yeah.
Dieting so much, I really appreciate the taste of food. My taste buds are feel like they're even crazier.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not difficult to me. It's those things.
Yeah.
And I would do anything to achieve the goal within means, obviously. But sorry, was your next one?
You kind of touched on it, where it's like, if people listen right now, like, what can they do?
Self-doubt. Oh, also, you brought up self-image. So one big thing too, this prep, you know, I didn't post much because I didn't even film myself at all. Yeah. It was getting to be like the last 2 weeks of prep, and I went and posed with my coach, and he saw how great I looked, and the guys around me were so supportive. And I'm in the gym, and like, I should probably document a little bit of this because this is the best I'm ever gonna look.
Yeah, I get you.
I was like, I'm still really big 2 weeks out. Like, I'm fitting on my clothes. Like, I'm used to like feeling really small.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at myself. You know, people who know me, who lift with me, they always like laugh. My friends applaud, like, oh, the pump cover is coming off or something, because they know I'm like all like weird, you know.
I get it,
self-conscious. But I didn't look at myself as much. I'd look in the mirror to see that the muscle I was working looked big or vascular or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't take many selfies. I didn't film myself lifting.
Yeah.
And not caring about that as much. I was more focused on my training.
Yeah.
I was more focused on what I had to do.
Yeah. Other
than, oh, should I lift more? Oh, this is, you know, some guy comes up, oh, lift more. I'm like, oh, you know what, for sure. Like, no, I'm supposed to lift this.
Right.
I trusted my training the most I ever have in a prep.
Yep.
Close to the end of prep, my lifts were actually going back up, which is insane. I was beating some numbers from even like the middle of off season when I'm at my heaviest. And I was about 40 pounds lighter than that. Yeah. You know, something that we both have, it's just, it's not even stubborn. It's just that drive and intensity, 100%. like Rocky.
Yeah.
That's it.
Literally.
It's just like, no, I got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
This is, you know, and also, people in my family who just have this work ethic that is just unreal. So
100%.
Just live off
the work ethic comes. I agree with that. I think it's, you mentioned Rocky. After Steve won the championship, and I found out that he won. I called. I didn't get to go to the show. I called him, and we're talking on the phone, and it's like just knowing his story leading up to this, where we had to put the blinders on, just kind of focused, honed in, went through so much. I called him out. I said, "Dude, like, you're Rocky IV. Like, you're literally in the mountains making it happen." It's true though. But I love what you say with someone listening right now. If they're pursuing not just bodybuilding, but a fitness journey, you're trying to get your body the way you want it to be, healthy, fit, whole, whatever it is. But we're all self-conscious,
Absolutely.
And I think to be able to sacrifice the ego, as you said, where like I'm in the gym, people can come up to me and tell me, "Oh, like you add more weight on it." I was like, I don't. In college, you and I could have pushed each other in that sense.
I was telling you to take weight off it in college.
Yeah,
you'd be maxing out machines.
I wasn't on the machines, the dumbbells. But no, like seriously though, it's
there's
like
that one leg press where you had like all the weight on that thing. We're crushing that thing.
Dude, you got to push the tons, man.
Doing 2 tons.
But no, in all seriousness though, to be able to trust yourself and trust your workout, that to me is where the result comes. And that's something you've honed in on, where you trust the coaches. You brought in some phenomenal coaches over the years, and each of them helped you build onto this physique you have to win. And you've listened to them, you trust them, especially the one you got now, but you're also trusting yourself enough where it's like, all right, I have to go in the gym, I have to do X, Y, and Z, I have to go home, I have to have this meal. And like, you learn to love the process, which has allowed you to sacrifice the ego in a sense of like, this will work.
Definitely. I think if it's someone doing their first show too, I don't care what level you're at. When you get into prep and your body weight starts to come down, you almost look like skinny fat at first. You're like, no, what happened? Because you're like off season, you might have a good body comp and you're nice and full and muscular. You have lots of carbs, glycogen's full, you're nice and full. Then you get into prep, you feel kind of flat, which is you have to get flat to get in shape. But what I used to do a little bit, probably more when I started, what a lot of guys do is they have a tendency to question their training. And it's almost like they start to see what they're lacking, maybe delts or quads or, back, and they start to add more of that when you don't want to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're not going to really grow. In a prep, depends on your situation. Yeah. But changing your training is probably one of the worst things you could do, because then you just start, say, a snowball effect of questioning everything you're doing, whether it's your diet, what you're taking, you're posing, and training. So keep that. For me, it was literally the same workouts as off season. Kept my weight up as much as I could. Maybe had to bump stuff down, maybe like a plate on hack squat or, a plate on this or that, but maybe I'd do a little bit more reps. Yeah. Then I ended up, body kind of turned around, started getting stronger again, beat some of those reps and some of that weight, but everything stayed the same. What built my body and how I liked it is going to stay, that even this off season right now, I'm going to do the same things.
100%.
Sometimes it's boring and monotonous. It breeds results. Yeah. Be consistent, 100%. Be consistent.
Yeah. And that's something, even, I'm not a bodybuilder, but even talking to people in the gym now, it's like, they're all like, food's incredible, it's phenomenal. But I've honed in my own diet in such a way where it's like, I'm seeing the results I've always wanted in my life. Yeah. And people are, we're all buddies in the gym. We joke with each other and whatnot, but it's like, people get upset at me when I don't go out and have the cheat meals that I used to have. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, it's like, people, flavor, you want whatever it is for your food, but to really like taste the result of your work tastes so much better than everything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything has to work in unison. Yeah. There are some people out there that can definitely get away with eating more cheat meals or
I agree.
Slacking and still look phenomenal.
Everyone's body's different,
Me, genetically, I've never saw myself as superior whatsoever. I've worked for everything. My family, seems to hold fat more, heavier people. Then again, if they want to lose weight, they lose it right away. Yeah. You have to be consistent, especially with your diet. Yeah. I think one thing too is, and I coach people and have clients, and I love all my clients. The big thing with them too is I'm not just going to give someone a cookie cutter diet. Yeah. In my questionnaire that I give people, it's what food do you like? Any foods that you absolutely cannot eat? Yeah. Because I asked this question. I'm asked this question. What's the best diet and exercise plan? My answer is the one that you'll actually follow. Will you actually enjoy the food, or is it going to be a chore every day and you're going to stop doing your diet and you're telling me you're doing your diet? I can't help them unless, they help me. So, but diet, what goes into your body, no matter what you're taking, whether it's a supplement or whatever, diet is 100% what you look like.
Yeah.
100%. You choosing your goals over going out to eat, you know, obviously sometimes my friends have always been super supportive. You and the guys have been, my friends back home have always been like, can you eat this? You want to eat this? I'll usually go out. If I go out to eat, look at the menu. Maybe I custom make something that's very similar to my food, which is absolutely fine. Sometimes it feels good to have someone else make it for you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm in off season where I'm doing 2 or 3 cheat meals a week, staying just as lean. So I'm like, I'll eat it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
No, but you know, or bring your food out. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have your goals.
Yep. Stick
to them.
And that's
real friends will support that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree to that. And that's something that kind of segues right into the next topic I want to go on to is not giving up on the process for sure, but allowing yourself or having people that believe in you.
Yeah.
And you for sure, your coach that you have, he was such a testament in believing in you here. As much as like what your friends, your family, everyone believe in you, I know that's such a major point to you. It's like that helped you get here.
Yeah. I always looked up to Jose. Was afraid. He mentioned actually in a video recently that I reached out to him years ago, but kind of was flaked off. I was afraid to work with him. I didn't think I was good enough yet.
Yeah.
He had some unreal talent in his guys, and I felt like a little skinny, tall guy, which I was probably. But he's been on the Olympia stage a bunch. Yeah. He's won big shows. I think he turned down a pro card a bunch of times, which people don't do. Pro card's hard to achieve. He turned it down. Like, oh, I'm not. Maybe he was like, I'm not good enough yet. I don't know exactly, but for someone at his level, I've never had a coach who was competitive at his level, and he made me feel like I could do anything. He believed in me, and I do not believe in myself. I keep fighting to try and believe in myself, but it's really hard for me to see what others see in me. That's definitely a big problem. But he would shoot me texts, supportive. My check-ins, he'd point out the best things he saw in me, what to work on though too. You know, he's very, he's not hard on me, but he will tell you what you need to do. Yeah. He's very honest about what you have to do. And you want a coach that's honest. You don't want one that's like, you're going to win, the guy's like in 10th place. Right. But his belief in me was tremendous, and I haven't had that. Honestly, I haven't had that in this sport, and haven't had it since probably we did track and field with Coach Salem. Just someone who was just like, look, you can really do this, and here's what to focus on. I'm an athlete, okay? It's hard to find. Bodybuilding is a sport, and bodybuilding is the hardest sport in the world, and everyone can fight me on it. It is. What we put our bodies through to get down to a certain level of body fat, how much we have to really hone in what we're doing, and absolutely work so hard to get down to single-digit body fat while lifting very heavy weight, while doing cardio, cooking your meals all day, have to focus on sleep when your body doesn't want to sleep. Everything is counterintuitive almost, counterproductive. So to have that support system means everything to me. My mom and dad, my mom's walking around the show and she's saying that's my baby to everyone, introducing me to people. Awesome. Her 32-year-old giant baby, stopping people. I didn't even know they're at my show. They sent me a picture with Jay Cutler. They go, we met Jay Cutler. My mom called him cutlets because we love eating chicken cutlets. And I showed him and he laughed backstage. Thanks, Jay.
Hilarious.
They're so loving though. They're so supportive and loving. My brother was there, obviously, my friends. You know, and then my fiance, Sam, has now been with me. That was my 4th show she's been there for me for. There was the Albany show during COVID, which was really tough because all the shows got canceled, and I did it because it was the last one. It was a really tough second place, really tough. Then we went to Vermont the next season, and she was there, and she saw me get second place again in Vermont, and that was a tough one, obviously, as well, that, you know, could have saw it going either way. And then I go to Buffalo, where I was like super severely dehydrated. The show was kind of just ran different, and I came in first in my class because no one was in it, which was very bittersweet. I'm like my first, you know, class win, and I'm the only guy. That didn't feel like an accomplishment.
Gotcha.
I wasn't like super proud of it. And then go to the overall, and I didn't win the overall either. And so after Buffalo, and we had the baby coming, I gotta give her credit because she's like, look, you're not done yet. And you haven't achieved as much as you can.
That's awesome.
And she really looked at me, and I needed that from her. And it was just like, look, you have so much more to achieve, and you haven't like scratched the surface yet. So that was great to have her support and be able to do this, you know, focus on bodybuilding, come home every night, be there for her and the baby, and obviously spend as much time with them as possible. And I worked from home, so able to be there for them a lot for that last year. But and then obviously my son, you know, doing check-ins and having him there is just awesome. I don't want to be like sentimental, but it's so good. I love it. It's nice to talk about, you know. People don't know. People know my life to a point, but you know, I get the chair out every morning for check-ins with Jose and Sam and the baby, little Steven, sit there. And this is like this morning, he's smiling at me with poses. I was like, he knew I was looking massive and shredded today. I was like, I can't wait to see these check-ins. He's like, looking at the camera, like little thumbs up. No, he's like 10 months old, but he's like so happy. Every pose I hit, he's like so stoked.
Thumbs up everything.
Sam had him at the front of the stage, and she was like, he wouldn't take his eyes off you. He was just
That's awesome.
You know,
that's such a great moment right there.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I love that.
The support system.
Yeah.
I wanted to come on, Billy, too, and make a point that, you know, every day in my everyday life, you've met me or know me, I'm going to believe in you. If you're down or you're out or you're sad or something, I think maybe it's because I've been treated really poorly in life by people. Maybe that's why I do this. I don't know. But it's definitely healing. Support people. Believe in people. You know, if you're going through something right now, you might be going through it for a reason, and you might not know why, and you might be in pain, but it's going to develop you into the character that you need for the next level of your life. And I think that's something 100%. That we both know. Yeah. And I think that, like, Jose's belief in me, and he might be like that with most of his clients who are pretty good, but he'll never understand how much it meant to me. And it was like my body just transformed because of it. You know, your mind, whatever you think, you can see. I feel like whatever you want to happen, you can make it happen that way.
It creates itself.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah, but if you see someone struggling at the gym, see someone struggling at your work, you know, I work a union job too. If you see somebody anywhere in life that needs help or that little support, your words are going to go a long way and carry them. Be nice to people, love people, help people. Times are tough enough. Your support in one person could change the world and make a difference in their life. I
100% agree with that. I think there's a lot of fear in the world now of being able to reach that hand out and pat someone on the back. To be able to believe in someone. And why I asked you on your coach and the belief he has on you is because I want to make this point to everyone. Your championship journey to get here, you mentioned something going over all of that where you don't believe in yourself.
No.
You see the impact of what everyone believes in you and the impact that has had on your life, which is phenomenal, and you do it to everyone else. I said to Steve before we started filming today, this right here is like you just punched through the ceiling. You're on a whole different level now. So to be able to now realize that the kid that picked up the magazine when he was like 8 years old and realized that this is something he wants to dedicate his life to, that has now achieved something in the sport, the athlete aspect of it, everything that comes before that is gone. So now is your opportunity to choose and see that this is a physical aspect of I did this, I got here, I put the work in, I believe in myself. Then that's what punches you through the ceiling and up the rest of the mountain. And I know that this is just the tip of the iceberg because I think we were talking before we filmed where it's like, I'm here. You know, you're about to step up and pursue the next level.
Yeah.
Because you know you can.
I don't want people to get the misconception from this that I'm like the super cocky person.
No.
My confidence is like normal.
Yeah.
You know, humility. I try to be as humble as possible. What this told me, I felt accepted by the bodybuilding community.
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, I am a bodybuilder. I am good.
Yeah.
You know,
good.
I am, you know, these things that my family and supporters and people have told me my whole life, but I needed to do it and see it. Yeah. And this moment, I still waiting for someone to take this away from me. I cried when they announced my name. Jay Cutler came up and said, come on, you knew you'd win. And I was like, I absolutely, like in my head, I'm like, oh my God, he just said that. I didn't think I couldn't see it until it happened. I couldn't actually comprehend it. Yeah. And I just expected probably another second place. You know, one of my buddies joked, like, you always get second. I'm like, I do. I've had like 5 second places, 6 second places. This means that I'm supposed to be here. Yeah. I'm on the right path.
100%. And
that now if we're looking towards nationals, towards a pro card, I'm starting back at square one. Yeah. And I'm like a rookie again. And I'm stoked. Like, no pressure. If I do bad, well, all right, it's his first nationals. Yeah. If I do good, hey, that was his first nationals. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm just excited either way, just to keep going with it. And I need to say this too, because this took me about 7 or 8 years. My first Cutler was 2017. do the math, that 5 or 6 years, I think it was like about 6 years ago, whatever. I know guys that get into bodybuilding, especially if you're pursuing this, they achieve all the goals right away. They win the show right away, the overall right away, pro right away. I don't think I've ever in any sport had that kind of career. Shot put and discus. I got into it a little bit later. I got good at it. Actually, I was better in college than I was in high school, you know? And then that took about 8 years to get that level from starting in high school to college. I thought of it too. The day the show came, highlight on Facebook, which sometimes you're like, oh, that highlight, you know, but his highlight was me winning the MassCAC titles.
Yeah, okay.
Which, if you remember, which I'm getting goosebumps, bro, because people at home that don't know this, I was normally #1 seed for shot or disc, but would have an off day. It wasn't bad, but like I was like, man, it was like consistent. Yeah. And then the next week would blow up. That came, and then I was at the show. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of a cool sign. Maybe that's awesome. Maybe that's a cool sign. My mother also sent me a picture of my grandfather and said, we're all here for you today. And I was like, come on. I'm like, oh, go hell on. He's making cutlets. And we saw Jay Cutlets. So,
that's awesome.
Fucking Jay Cutlets.
Yeah.
I'm swearing on here. I'm sorry.
Say what you gotta say, man. Say what you say.
I gotta be real.
Keep it real. Exactly.
I'm trying to be all professional. Yeah. In my shorts.
Just doesn't have pants that fit him now.
I can't find pants that fit. But
I love
what's great is, no, it solidified. It's just, it's what I always wanted. Some of my best friends, guys I looked up to when they won the overall, I was so proud of them. Yeah. You know, also be proud of people when they achieve stuff. Yeah. Don't be flaky. I don't know what's more, how do I put it? I don't know what's more alarming to me, the outpouring of support for winning this, or the deafening sound of people who used to support and haven't said anything. And that's terrible, because roles reversed, I would be in their DMs and messaging them and so proud of posting them. It's not you versus me, it's me versus me. Yeah. And if you do well, I'm so proud. I'm so happy. Right. You know, like
that's and that I agree with you wholeheartedly. When you get some aspect of success, you do get an outpouring of love, but there is a deafening silence from a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And in the grand scheme of things, it shows more of their character.
Oh, absolutely.
And their character, how they see themselves, but more so shows you that they weren't supposed to be there for your victory in the long run.
Well, let's say it. If people show you their true colors and who they are, they did you a huge favor, then they can take a walk, you know? Yeah. You don't need them in your life.
Exactly.
You know, anyone that's going to do that to you, backstab you, talk badly behind your back, do anything like that, there you go. That's what they always were to you. And it hurts at first. It hurts a lot, because you're like, oh, that person meant so much to me. But then you're like, it was all in your head. Yeah. You built up this relationship in your head about that person.
You had this image of them. That's that's not actually
keep your circle small and surround yourself with support. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
No, I completely agree with that. On that idea too of you know, you've worked your way up the ladder, you've reached this point, I think you said you're a rookie now, and you have this, you have a confidence being a rookie, not in the sense that you won, it's just like, I get to start again. It's like you say that with like a little kid.
Oh, I'm stoked,
like a little in your eye, dude. It's like, I get to do this. Like, that's awesome.
It's like brand new. It's like, right? I mean, I've always thought, like, I've had other coaches who want me to go to nationals, but I'm like, I got second. Why would I go? I would spend like thousands of dollars for an experience. You know what I mean? I get you. In talking to Jose, I loved one of the first things he said to me. We started working together. I went and did a back workout with him, which was phenomenal. Yep. He had the same exact mindset that I have since I came into the sport. Do not go to nationals if you can't walk into a regional show and just destroy it and do well. Okay? And I was like, absolutely. Yeah. Like, you go and, you know, you do well in front of like the Mr. Olympia judge, Steve Weinberger. Then we know that you have what it takes to go to that next level. Because oftentimes I've seen guys, and like, no offense to anyone watching this who's done it, but when you come in like 5th, 4th, 3rd, I should say now it's top 2 in your class to go to nationals. Are you ready? Really look at yourself and just be honest. You should have a coach that's honest and doesn't just make you go for no reason, you know? That's one thing I see too much too, and I'm sorry to strength like more bodybuilding.
No, of course.
It's either coach, athlete, no matter what, are you with people or clients? Yeah. You gotta be honest with people. Yep. You know, they may have rose-colored glasses on, but you're looking at them with the microscope and you're like, no, buddy, you don't have what it takes yet. And it just takes time. They may hurt. It may hurt their feelings telling them, but like some people just need time to get better. When I talked to Jose about the game plan moving forward, because everybody, all my friends in the gym, so awesome. Like, you go to nationals now? I'll buy tickets. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, no, I don't want to just go pro. I hope I'm blessed to go pro. I want to go pro and then compete as a pro.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be competitive as a pro.
100%.
Just like I wanted to win the overall and then I'll make my way to a national level show. I don't want to just go to nationals with like the same package I just had or 5 pounds bigger. You know, I'm going to wait. We're going to start to, you know, try and build on some weaknesses I have. You know, my physique's got a lot more complete this year, but there's more stuff we can build.
Yeah.
And then bring this best package we can, probably like a year from now or so. And then we're going to try and go for it. Yeah,
I like that. And you bring up the weakness aspect. And what comes to mind to me is, I think you have this perspective. I'm going to word the question this way. How?
He just says calves. I know. I'm working on it.
Hey, it sure pushes your calves out.
All right.
I'm telling you. Get some.
All right.
That's so funny.
Best they've looked. I don't care. Small, but best they've looked. Yeah,
what was that question?
I'm sorry. Just ruined the whole interview.
How good does it feel to know you have a weakness to work on?
I mean, I think it's the best. I feel like it was like an old Phil Heath interview. He won the Michelin Olympia like, what, 7 times? Like, if your physique's perfect, like, you have nothing to work on, there's always something to bring up and focus on. It's the best feeling. Like, there's always, I also am this too. Like, oh, you look so complete. Yeah, well, then I want all of that bigger and more incomplete. Like, you can always bring something up. Make your strength stronger, bring up your weaknesses. Yeah. No one's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, you know, Jose mentioned a few things. I want to work on my back a little bit more. It's come up light years this year, which I'm just so happy with because I really focused on my training for it. Legs came up a lot too. And then, you know, one big with him was like back and glutes a little bit for next year. Everything else he's pretty happy with. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm gonna like, no, I'm not, I'm good. No delts or arms.
Don't need arms anymore.
No chest.
Forever stay this way.
No, I'm good. You know what I mean? It's keep developing and train those things just as hard. Improve on them and bring up other things as well. Exactly.
100%. Yeah. And why I asked that question is because, yes, we can look at it from a bodybuilding perspective, which, you know, we've talked about bodybuilding and everything like that. But that, to me, being not a bodybuilder or a coach, a speaker, everything like that, just a person, I look at every area of my life that way. And that's why I'm bringing that up for people listening. Like, you might not be a bodybuilder, but are there weaknesses in your life, in yourself, that you can look at and be like, let's become the whole package?
That's what I want to achieve with these videos with you. You're absolutely right. I don't want this to just be, because it's like the stuff I've learned, it carries over to everything. Exactly. And my real life battles have been immense.
Yes.
And those have made me improve on other aspects of my life, relationships, 100%. Jobs, things like that, or even given a better understanding of what people may be going through that you'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this journey I've been on to get to this point might have been twice as long as someone else, but I didn't give up and I wouldn't give up. If I didn't get it this year, I'd keep going for it. Yeah. Like ruthless, like just attention, like motivation. Yep. Like I would just keep going on the same path and getting better. If you want a promotion at work, give it all you got. One big thing too is like we all have a choice in our life, in our situation. If you're miserable with what you're doing, make a change. You can make a change. To ask yourself, why are you staying in this position? Why are you staying in this relationship? Make that change. Sit down and ask yourself, write a list, pros and cons list. Yeah. You know, if the cons list is huge, maybe you should get out of it, you know? No, but you have a choice in everything that you do. You have a say, you have a choice. And life is super short to be miserable and not happy. You want to be happy. Yeah. I want to bring this up too, because this is huge, is that I have been seeing a therapist, which I think is really important. Mental health is so big. Yep. I've done a lot of self-help. I'm pretty emotionally aware. I've done a lot of soul searching or trying to understand triggers from past traumatic experiences and stuff like that. Like everyone goes through stuff like this. I'm opening up about it because I'm a big dude and people might not know what I've been through in my life. I don't want to really get into it too much, but to know that we all have stuff that we might need help with. We're not perfect. Therapy isn't anything to chuckle at or to, you know, mock or to feel judged or be insecure about. It's been super helpful to me. It means I'm a better father to my son, fiance to Sam, son, brother, friend. Yeah. And I think that's one big thing that you just, if you're not putting your mental health first, do that for yourself. You owe it to yourself. And for me, it made me, it put me on another level. So definitely do that for yourself.
I love that. I love that you brought that up, and connects exactly to the point at hand. And why I asked the question of the weakness piece, and that you going to a therapist for mental health aspects to be able to strengthen yourself.
Yeah.
To be able to heal past traumatic aspects, to look at life from a different perspective and really see like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
It allows you to heal and move forward. Why I asked the question on the weakness piece is because in the areas that I work with people, it's, yes, physical aspect can be a factor, but your physical body, bodybuilding, everything like that is just a complete result of truly what's going on in here, right? So, and I say that in the sense of like, you've pushed through stress, you've pushed through struggle, you've pushed through everything to achieve a victory here. And you explain that when you go into the gym, you have such this good energy. You're there helping people. You're there supporting people, giving pointers and everything like that. So it comes back to you. When you are able to look at your life, not a gym, but look at your life on a different level and really realize this stage, I feel great. This stage, I feel great. This one, it could be a weakness. I need to improve this. This one's doing all right. But you start to give time and energy to these other areas. You are now creating a full encompassed life, which can only start to bring in greater results because you start to enjoy your life. As you said, why live your life where some aspect of it's miserable? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yep.
Whether that is a pros and cons list of situations you need to decide on, whether it's job, relationship, family aspects, diet even, whatever it is under the sun. But to know that you have full control over what area you want to step into in life. I said to a client yesterday in our session, I said, and she brought the same thing, like, Billy, I never understood why people don't change their life when they have an opportunity to, and they just sit and stay in it. And she's out in Canada. I give her, she watches this. I give you a shout out, Cheryl, because you're always bringing up such great points.
They're content or comfortable.
Right. And we get comfort. We get comfortable with how our life is, but we're afraid of judgment if we make a change. We're afraid of, right? We're afraid if I make this change, if I step into this area, what are people going to think?
Okay, that's
right.
A huge point. Yeah.
But if the judgment of others far outweighs your own self-judgments, you aren't living your life anymore. You're living everything dictated by everyone outside.
If I lived my life based on what people told me or wanted me to do, I'd have achieved nothing.
Right?
It's your life. Don't go by what other people think.
100%.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do not do that.
Right?
And easier said than done. I get it, but like, I've done that in the past. I felt like, ooh, people might judge me if I do this or that. Who cares?
Exactly.
Because you know what's funny? They're not thinking about you as much as you think they are.
Exactly.
And they're probably not going to be in your life for the rest of your life anyway, so who cares?
No, exactly.
Who cares, yeah.
You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and really see what areas do I have to work on. But it doesn't even become work at that point. I tell my clients, it's effortless progress when you get on the right track in life.
We're both very supportive people. It is tough, though, to see somebody constantly complain about their life but make no change.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If if you're doing the same thing every day, expect the same results. Yeah. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Make a change in your life.
Right.
It may be super hard at first, but it's probably going to down the road make all the difference in what you achieve.
Right. That's like you connecting it all together now. If your coach tells you, hey, we have to work on your lats, we have to work on your glutes, as you said, or your chest, whatever it ends up being, you look at that from the lens of, all right, let's go. This is going to get me better.
Yeah.
If I looked at a client,
my God, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
if I looked at
or people look at it like, oh man, I'm not really, or they get like negative. Like, what do you mean?
Right?
I just don't take things that way either.
Exactly.
Take criticism in any aspect of your life.
100%.
Yeah.
To tell someone right now, take that perspective. You're not a bodybuilder. That's fine if you're listening to this right now. To look at the other areas of your life, like, hey, Steve said that he's become extremely emotionally intelligent with himself. You know what you feel.
Be aware.
You know you're aware. You know of everything like that. If that's a weakness of yours, how great will it be to strengthen that? To give you an extra leg up in your life, not on competition, but on your life. To be able to understand different situations. And I say this to clients struggling with mental health areas too. And I've had clients come to me, Bill, I love this kid. We went to college with this kid. I will not say his name. I have respect for him, but he came to me and goes, Bill, I can't deal with the anxiety in my life anymore. Like, you gotta, like, is there a way you can help me cope with it? And I sat there, I go, why do you want to cope with it? Let's just get rid of it. And he goes, is that possible? Of course it's possible. And then we put the work in and everything like that. I don't meet with him anymore. But he understood new areas where it's like, oh wait, I'm not limited by what was told.
Only you're holding yourself back, or you have a mental prison on things. Trust me. me of all people, it's been terrible at times. You really gotta truly let go. If there's something you have against someone right now, or someone's done you wrong, and you have all this anger and resentment towards anyone or anything in your life, you're not gonna live until you let it go. And I know, and that's super difficult thing that I've learned as an adult. As soon as you stop giving that thing power, you get your power back. You do not need to hold that. Let that person be terrible. Let that thing, like whatever it is, it's the issue, not you. Yep. So let it go. Super tough. I was raised by, the way my dad raised me too was, don't let anyone ever disrespect you. If they do, like punch them in that kind of thing. Kind of like I always said, my favorite scene in Goodfellas is like he walks across the street and beats that guy with the gun after hitting this girl. Like I love that. I'm like, oh, that's how I was raised. Kind of like it's kind of an old school. It's kind of like an old school. Like I get it. Different times you grew up in too, but
for sure.
That's not the case sometimes. I've had to kind of unlearn that stuff.
Oh, and exactly.
You always deserve to be respected. Yep. But if you were disrespected by somebody or hurt by somebody, let them be the bad person and work your way to let it go. Because if not, it just holds you back from what you're trying to do. And at the end of the day, whatever your dreams are, whatever you're doing, those people won't be in your life 5 years from now. Or they, It's true. And it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, being able to let go.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And, I'll say this, and then we'll get back to, the championship journey aspect, just because it connects together with everything you said. It is, and in hearing someone say, hey, don't hold on to that, let it go, it's a very tough battle. What I teach my clients is called attachment, detachment, non-attachment. And there's a video of this on Once a Week. You can go find it with that title. And essentially is connecting it to the situation you brought up, where if someone disrespects you and you're trained in a way where you're attached to that comment and you need to respond. Your attachment is, I need to respond this way to make them know that this is not right and everything like that. So you're attached to that outcome. Yeah. When we're attached to certain outcomes in life, what we do is we cut off every other aspect that the universe, God could bring into your life, whatever you want to call it. So if we're only attached to one outcome of this is how I need to respond, this is how life needs to be, whatever it is, you cut yourself off from everything else that could bring in something better. So that's attachment. And then you have detachment, where say you didn't win this trophy and you didn't come in first and you said, I'm done. You're detaching yourself from bodybuilding. You're taking your ball. You're going home. You're detached from life. Right. Meaning life can't bring in anything better or show you a different route to that trophy. Yeah. Then you have non-attachment, which is how I try to live my life, like how I try and teach my clients to live your life, where if it comes, I let it. If it goes, I let it. I am focusing on me, and I'm moving forward into the best area of my life. That's definitely
more of a way I've gotten.
I know you have. I see it in you, 100%. Right? It's exactly what you were saying, where it's like that's how you teach yourself to let go of these struggles and what people say or what comments come is, I'm not attached to the outcome. I know something better is coming my way. I'm non-attached. I'm non-attached to life, where I know that as long as this stays clear and moving forward to the best areas that I want for my life, it will come. And I'm just going to enjoy the journey there, championship journey there. But if I'm attached or detached, you're just saying, life, don't bring in these other better aspects that could happen. I only want the one.
One thing too, if people are judging you or have something bad to say about you, you're making them feel insecure. You have something that they don't have. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, have a bad experience with someone, go home and think about that. They're seeing something in you that they don't have in themselves. That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
So it's like, just let it go.
It shows that you, in regards, you're a level up.
Yeah.
Feel good, rather than trying to be upset over why someone down there is trying to pull me down, and I'm going to go to their level.
Right,
just
exactly.
Keep going up the ladder.
But I think that there's many times that I could have given up in a certain sense on this, or like your mindset is just everything. Yep. Because you're sitting there talking, and you're making me think of all the shows that didn't go well, or I just felt like I was spinning my wheels. Yeah, even with a job, like let me get away from bodybuilding for a second. Even just like finding a career, I tried everything and kept getting a no. Oh, you did great at your interview, but one job was everyone loved you, but they just felt like you loved bodybuilding so much that you might not love this as much. No one's gonna love whatever that job is as much as what their love is or passion.
Passion, yeah.
You know,
right.
Some person goes to that job and loves their kids way more than that job. You not hire them? Doesn't even make sense to me.
Exactly.
But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything, and that's the beauty of it. Everything does happen for a reason. Where, you know, those jobs that you didn't get, you weren't supposed to have them because you're meant for something better.
Yeah.
And for these jobs, they could have taken your perspective away from bodybuilding. But if you set the intention and goal for yourself, which you did from a young age, the second you opened that magazine, which you could have done in your life at some point when you were a kid, you set the intention. Life is going to bring you there. It's just allowing it to get you there.
Also, make whatever you're doing work for your goals. Like, my job does not, no job I've had has really worked for bodybuilding. I make it work.
Yeah.
That's preparing your meals ahead of time, you know, taking your breaks to allow you to eat on a schedule, or nothing's going to work for you. You have to make it work. Yeah. If you want it bad enough, you'll make it work.
Yeah.
I gotta say that too.
I agree. Yeah. I completely agree with that. And no, I appreciate your time here, Steve, because you've done this accomplishment. Like, it's incredible for you. And this is kind of one area I wanted to kind of close on is it's so incredible for you, and you haven't really gotten to the place where you can feel it. Yeah,
I said that too when I came in, and I kind of have this generic answer to people who ask about it. I'm like, oh, it's surreal. But it really is. Like, I cried when it was announced.
Yeah.
But, you know, my family came backstage, which was cool. Seeing Stephen and everything, that made me just take it in a little bit. But, I just don't think it's hit me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah.
One or two things. That day was really low self-esteem, confident. I looked over and saw a super heavyweight who was there, who I didn't think would be at the show. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get second place. Obviously that didn't happen, which was great. Everyone around me believed in me and supported me. People I just met, new friends I made, which, you know, God bless them. And I don't know if it's one of those things where, like, maybe in the back of my head, I did always know I could do this and was just waiting to get that clarified, or what, or maybe just like I was so used to the opposite outcome that my body was just like. Physically, like, oh, you're probably gonna get second, get ready for it. Okay. I don't know, but I haven't really been able to totally. It's probably gonna hit me in the car. I'm a big guy, and I cry, like everything. I'm gonna probably be watching a Disney movie, thinking about this, somehow connecting my life to everything. You know,
you're gonna be
the Irish. What's that movie? What's the boxing one with Russell Crowe? Love that movie. Cinderella Man. Cinderella Man's gonna be on. I'm like. Tears, like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, don't worry about it. That's me. Or a scene from Rocky, or
Well,
man.
Why I wanted to bring that up is because I think it's something on the championship journey, on the championship process, on your specific championship process. I think we all go through it, where it's not that we set the goal in mind and we think it's going to feel a certain way, and then we get there and it's not. That's not what this case is right now.
Yeah. This
case to me is, yes, it could have been a factor of you've played it back in your mind so many times that you've gotten second place that this is just like, what is this? What I think it is, though, is like, and this is kind of why I wanted to end on it, is you've been through a lot of struggles in your life. You mentioned, you know, in regards to whatever they are, traumatic aspects in your life, and you've worked your way to heal through them. There's a residue that stays with those aspects where the little kid that opened this magazine that set the tone for this, and why I keep coming back to that, and I will continue to keep coming back to that, is because whatever you had on your heart when you were a kid is what you're meant to do. It's your passion. So with you pursuing your passion, that kid that believed in himself so strongly when he was a kid and saw, man, I'm going to do this. This is phenomenal. I want to pursue this. Traumatic events, pain, struggle, keep going, believing, keep going. You mentioned earlier the confidence, you're growing confidence in yourself, but it's not fully there. Your coach builds that confidence in you and everything. That little kid who knew from day one that he was going to win this, is on that stage. Jay Cutler's raising his hand. They just won. The tears are flowing down. That's his moment. That's not 32-year-old Steve's moment. That's that 8-year-old kid's moment right there. And so he's winning, but 32-year-old Steve is sitting there trying to process everything it took him to get here. And that's why this hasn't hit you yet. So to be able to give yourself a moment, like you said, it could be Cinderella Man, it could be a Disney movie, it could be you on your ride home. To allow yourself an opportunity to really realize, like, whoa, I just made that kid proud. That's what heals all those traumatic events right there. And that's why I wanted to end on this piece, is because I know that's every single one of us. And Steve's got such a big heart where you're willing to show people that if it helps them heal.
Definitely.
Right? So for you guys going through it right now, if this pain, if there's struggle, if there's stress, if there's hurt, whatever it is that has happened to you in your life or whatever happened when you were a kid, whatever it is, allow yourself a moment to really realize you aren't that kid anymore. You're better. And you went through all that, as Steve said, to learn lessons. Everything works together. All things will forever work together in your life. But to be able to see then that you became stronger because of all those events, you had to go through those events to make sure you could even achieve this trophy.
And every time I didn't give up, because if you're going to give up, you might be one step away from a breakthrough.
100%.
You'll never know it if you give up.
Exactly.
I can't live with that.
Right?
No.
And it connects back to everything we said, being able to let go of those
and little,
events.
12, 13-year-old Stephen, I owe it to him, and I haven't lost that feeling of excitement for it, and kind of looking at it as like, I could never do that. And so doing this process is really cool.
Yeah, right?
You're making me sentimental. You made it make more sense.
Oh, I know. That's why I had to be last. I know.
I'm make me cry. I don't want to cry on camera, bro.
I know you so well that when you're sitting there, I know the wheels are turning.
Oh, you're doing it. You just, that's a good,
right?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think he'd be proud,
Right? And that's the beauty of it, man. Like, you did it. And that's why the championship journey, a lot of people go and pursue their result, they pursue their goal, and they get it, and they don't experience it. And they set another goal. And you and I talked about this when we started. Like, I've been that way. Once a week has been going for 331 straight weeks as of this Sunday.
In vacation, though.
for so many weeks, and I don't do this now because I've been able to see this in myself. For so many weeks, it was on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. I refused to even let comments come in about how good the last one was or what could have tweaked, because it was always just, I need to work my way up the mountain. I need to get to the mountaintop.
Better.
Right? So I had to get up here when all I was really supposed to do was focus on this next step. Feel it. Feel good. Next step. Feel it. Feel good. And then week on and week on, here we are. And I've allowed myself to heal that process. So it's like, I just take every week as it comes, just enjoying it. Like, to know, I think 3 weeks ago, you told me, like, yeah, Bill, let's do it. We're going to make this thing happen. I've been ecstatic for 3 weeks, and it's just like knowing that I get to enjoy this process allows me to enjoy the result of this video, of me being on stage, of helping clients, individual audiences, whatever it is, because I've allowed myself to just get back to this moment where it's just, man, life is good. And that's what all this is for you. Life is good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love it, dude.
You're good, Billy. You're right. No, you're right. Like, you bring up a good point. Is to stop and appreciate what you've done, because I don't do that enough. I don't want this to just be a stepping stone. I want to really soak it in and appreciate it.
100%.
Whatever you achieve in life and your goals, stop and give yourself credit.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
No, for sure. And I'll say this, and then we'll close it out. Yeah. But I'm reading a book right now, Winning, by Tim Grover. He's a guy that trained Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and everything. And I love learning about Michael and Kobe's training. Tim Grover's got a couple different books out there. But something always stuck out to me in Champion. And there's a moment where they need to take it in. And I remember a couple years ago, the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship, and Giannis, their best player, is sitting on the sidelines after the final buzzer. And it just shows him, like, no, the fans aren't in the front row. They're, like, cheering with the team. Giannis is just sitting there, exhausted, but just looking. And Tim Grover's posted something on Instagram, and he looks at it, and his caption was, every champion has a moment where they need to take it in, and then the switch turns on again.
There's that famous one of Kobe in the locker room. You like the trophy and all
right?
that shit on his
right?
the hat and the jacket. It's an awesome,
like, yeah, exactly.
beautiful picture. And Michael Jordan had ones like that.
Oh yeah,
too.
he was on the ground with the trophy. Like, all these greats that we look up to that won a championship, that cemented their name in whatever pursuit they're doing. It doesn't have to be an athlete. It could be you right now doing whatever you do. They have a moment of realization of, hey, I did it. And that's where it's going to hit you, and it's going to feel incredible. Yeah. And I say that to you, but I say that to everyone watching right now. Do not live life so 10 steps ahead, because you're missing out on so much. And that's a lesson I had to learn dearly. because I was trying my hardest to push and push and push and make this dream happen. And what I was doing was creating my own walls. To be able to take those walls down in an instant, because you bring life back to this moment here and now, take a deep breath and really realize I'm here and I'm moving forward into the best areas of my life, achieving my goals one step at a time, but take it one step at a time. That's what you do, Steve. You know?
Awesome, Billy. Thank you.
Of course, dude. Yeah. Is there anything you want to leave anyone with?
I think what you just said, you know, set goals for yourself, but don't put up walls, because if you go, a week from now I have to do this, and you don't do it, then you're not going to want to keep pursuing your goal.
Yeah.
Take it one day at a time. You know, don't lose that passion. We all kind of start to maybe get burnt out from what we're doing, especially bodybuilding things. Take a little break from it, or change your training, or change your diet up, or you know, work out with somebody. Make it new. Get that passion back, or take a step back from it and miss it and go back to it. But I'm just very thankful. I'm thankful for these videos that you do. Yeah. I mean, if you guys go back and watch me from then to now, it's just crazy. I literally was like, I'm not going to go on Billy's show again until I win something big, and this was definitely one that we had to have on here.
Yeah.
Maybe the next one's a pro card. We'll have to wait for that. And hopefully I'm sitting here 20 pounds bigger.
No, if you go back and watch those videos, I love it because you can see your bodybuilding career in how you look.
It's crazy too, because I mean, some of them are off season. I probably weigh more than this. I'm going back from my show. Where
you couldn't fit in the seat one time.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I hate these seats.
Yeah, they're just weird. They're just weird chairs, man. But
the only guest that just can't stay where we sit.
I want to add a couple of things, though, definitely. Thank you for all the support of people out there, my family, Billy's family, followers, and everything like that. Please reach out to me for anything, whoever watches this, whether it's coaching or just a question or something's going on in life. Don't ever feel alone. Reach out to me or Billy, DM us. And just very thankful, very blessed. And, you know, don't feel alone. Please reach out.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, I love it. I love it. And guys, I'm going to put all of his accounts in the credits, so you're going to know exactly where to find them. But Steve, before we close it out, tell them about your nutrition coaching, because you've had some incredible clients. You've had bodybuilding clients come through just as much.
Yeah. Oh, my cousin Kevin, he just competed. Right. He's like my little cousin. He's my cousin Kevin's son, Kevin, but I'm the youngest in my family, so we're pretty much just cousins. No, I've had a lot. I've been blessed over the years for really great clients, bodybuilding clients, bikini clients for shows. Most of what I've had, though, has just been like your basic lifestyle client. Exactly. You just want to lose weight. Like, I don't want to think people watching this like, oh, only hardcore bodybuilders reach out to me. Men, women of all ages, all walks of life, different medical conditions, you know, issues in their life, everything in between. What I do is your diet. You know, I do your training program, a little cardio plan, go over supplements with you. I do weekly check-ins, so every Saturday, you know, or Sunday, whatever day of the week works for you, send me your pictures in the morning, your weight. I have a little questionnaire to fill out when you do so. And basically, you know, it keeps you on top of your game. You get to check in with me. I'm going to make tweaks to your plan pretty much weekly, unless things are going perfect. We'll leave it the same. But you have someone in your corner, and you can stop guessing about how to lose weight or put on muscle or get stronger. If you do want to do a show, that's great. I don't push people towards contest preps, because it definitely is not for the faint of heart. It's for the, you know, people who really want to compete. I would love to help you do that as well. And with contest prep, it's a lot more frequent check-ins. And, you know, if the show's local, I'll come to your show and be there for you. But, you know, I love helping people. It's a passion. It's something I do on the side. And people always say I should charge more. I don't really charge a lot. It's just something that I love to do, and I love helping people. And, yeah, please reach out. I'll answer any question. And, you know, if you want to just bounce questions off me, go right ahead. That's all.
Yeah. Guys, he's a wealth of knowledge in this area. I can guarantee it. He's helped me in a lot that I do. It's always an open door where, you know, shoot him a message. He's going to answer it for you. So if that intrigues you in some way, or something that we talked about today intrigues you in some way, reach out. You know, set up a call with Steve and ask him about this nutrition aspect, because he knows his stuff. I've seen him from day one in college studying it to the point where he is now, where, like, it's a hobby for him, but it's incredible the results he brings to people. So, guys, I'm going to put that in the credits just as much, along with every area to find Steve at. But, you know, Steve, I thank you so much for being here, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Of course, yeah. Guys, please like this message below, hit that thumbs up button, and share this with someone who you feel might need it. If we were talking about some aspect of this championship journey and everything in between, and someone popped into your mind, to me, that is a clear-cut sign that they need to hear the message that you just heard. please share it to them, not to bring more views to this channel. That's not the point of it. To make sure we help someone, because as Steve just said, that's our goal. It's just to help people. That's the point of Once a Week, is to help people every single week.
Point of life, help people.
100%, right? But guys, please hit that subscribe button as well. We've broken 5,000 subscribers. We're close to 6,000. Let's just keep it growing. Our goal is to help the world, and no doubt about it, just as much as Steve achieved this trophy, we're going to achieve that. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, Steve, thank you for being here.
Of course, brother.
Awesome,
thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it back there. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on